Sunday, November 18th, 2018, Monaco 64, home of alternative economics and contrarian views. I want to talk about a commodity that people are not really paying too much attention to. At least I wasn't, and I haven't seen too many headlines about it. And it's one that's really important, is just as important as crude oil. And what is that commodity? Well, it's natural gas. And natural gas has gone up about just over 40% in the last 6 weeks. And it's really important source of energy, not only for the whole world, but especially for the United States, for the United Kingdom. And I'll go through natural gas. And the reason I wanted to do this is that we've been focusing a lot on crude oil. And the WTI, for example, since the beginning of October, it's gone from a high of, just above 76, around 76, 70, to a present level of 57. So that's down about 25%. But natural gas is up about 42. So first of all, I'll go over the importance of natural gas in the energy world, natural gas in the United States, and then we'll look at the charts and see how that could be actually something that could trigger a massive slowdown in the economy worldwide. So first of all, I wanted to show you projected global energy consumption from 1990 to 2040 by energy source. And they give you here the the proportion of that kind of energy, the kind of energy that is used. As you can see, in 1990, natural gas, which is the dark red color, was about half of total liquids, as they call it, or crude oil and other fossil fuels, if you want to call it that. I know it's not really the accurate term, fossil fuels, but you can see that it was half of that. You can see that by 2010, the proportion was getting a little bigger. And right now, let's use the 2016. It's a very important source of energy. And so is coal. We're almost at the same amount as crude oil here for the world with natural gas. And then I wanted to talk about natural gas in the United States. So I'll read here from Wikipedia. It says, natural gas in the United States was the nation's largest source of energy production in 2016, representing 33% of all energy produced in the country. This is an important part here. Natural gas has been the largest source of electrical generation in the United States since July 2015. And it goes on to say the United States has been the world's largest producer of natural gas since 2009, when it surpassed Russia. To show you as well is about the UK. Natural gas is very important in the UK. It's a big proportion of the fuel used up until the early 2010s. As you can see here, natural gas consumption in the UK is almost the same as fossil fuel, as they call it. And now I've got like the primary energy consumption by region, regional consumption. You can see North America here. Of course, oil is still the biggest proportion, but then you've got natural gas in second place. And if you look back, until 1992 for the whole world, natural gas has increased quite a bit relative to even to oil. And you look at Europe, natural gas not as important, but it's very important in the Middle East, Africa, even South America, and CIS, that's the old Soviet republics. So this is what I wanted to talk about, because we've been focusing a lot on crude oil, how that could be a sign of an economic slowdown, and that's true. It might help prices at the pump for consumers, but I've noticed, at least here in the UK, the prices at the pump haven't really changed, even though we've seen this big drop in crude oil since the beginning of October, 25%. So now I wanted to show you the charts of the natural gas future. It's a December future, but it's a continuation chart, so it's adjusted for the different contracts. And I've got first here a chart going back about 18 months, and you can see that the range has been basically between $2.75 and $3.25. So you could say the average has been around $3. And look how we've jumped since the beginning of, well, it started really towards the end of September, beginning of October. We started moving higher, but it's really taken off in November. As you can see here, there's been some gap up days. We topped just below 5. We went down. I think there were the exchange, the CME exchange, put some limits on natural gas, and it dropped, but it closed up at 4.27 on Friday, which is, you know, if you take a level of $3, it's up about 42% for such an important source of energy. You know, it's the biggest source of energy for electric production in the United States. It's a very important source of energy for the whole of Europe. And some people, you know, you look at some of the articles about natural gas recently, they say it's because the winter's coming. But you can see that in previous periods of early winter, we have seen moves up, you know, but not as big as this. So now I wanted to show you more of a longer term chart, the monthly going back about 20 years. You can see that one could argue now that a next target could be around 6. You know, that 4 level was very important. That was the highest level, you could argue, since for the last 3 years. So I would say, you know, like the high from the beginning of 2014, which is just below 6 there, is going to be a key level. And look at how crude oil, you know, sorry, natural gas can move, you know, very quickly. We saw it back in 2005. We saw it back end of 2007, beginning of 2008. And it's funny that that spike higher in end of 07, beginning of 08 could have also helped, you know, contribute to the great financial crisis of 08. It wasn't just crude oil. Or maybe we could see natural gas lagging crude oil. Maybe this is it. This is the move higher, and now we're going to correct back down like crude oil. But it doesn't look like that. And I think we need to keep a close eye on natural gas. It could be very important. And that's what I wanted to talk about this afternoon, about natural gas, something we never really cover. I used to trade a little bit of natural gas futures for some of my clients back when I was a futures broker. It's a very volatile contract or commodity, if you want to call it that. Of course, it is a commodity. And so it's not out of the realms of possibility. We could see natural gas up to $10 by the end of the year. And I'm not trying to be alarmist here, but that could be very serious for the whole world economy, especially the United States. So later on today, I'll probably be doing a live stream around 9 p.m. London. So watch out for that. If you enjoyed this video, please like, share it, subscribe to my channel if you haven't yet. You can also follow me on Steemit, DTube, and on Twitter. I wish you all a great rest of the weekend, and I'll talk to you later. Take care. Bye.